Welcome to Dear Diaries, sharing heaven one experience at a time. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and also visit our website at thedeardiaries.com. I'm your host, Roseby Theoc, and welcome to Dear Diaries. Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're having an amazing day today, because I am. I had a dream today, and I dreamt I went outside and I was about to get the water cooler from the yard, and I saw people with children walking through my backyard to go home. And I saw 3 adult men, and they were walking by as well with the kids. And I believe one of them told me my cooler was, far out. So I went through the backyard to go get it, which was where they were. And they were walking through my yard, the backyard. But as I'm walking towards the cooler, I could sense that one of them had bad intentions. I could feel it in my spirit. And I'm watching him as I'm walking towards the water cooler. And he was leaving, but then as I got closer, he walked back towards where he came from. And when I grabbed the water cooler, he started to approach me as I'm dragging it back towards the house. And the other 2 men with him were surprised, what are you doing, man? And he wanted to attack me. And I started to swing the heavy water cooler towards them. And he wanted to harm me for water. And I started to yell at him, and I said, what happened to just saying, may I have water, please? And he was shocked, as if that never came to his mind. And I said, what is wrong with you? And his friends was asking him, what is wrong with him? And I said, stay here. And I went inside and I grabbed him one of my water bottles, which were cold, and a big bottle. And I brought to him, and inside I had also made some red beans and rice with coconut together. I love that type of rice because I'm from the islands. I made a plate of that for him, and I gave him the water. And I kept telling him, I said, all you have to do is ask. And then I went inside, and my father was sitting on a chair. And I went to my father and I kneeled before him. And I said, Daddy, all he had to do was ask. And my dad said sometimes they just don't know, they don't remember. And I know that in this dream, my father represented the Lord, and that guy, he represented us people. And I remember one time, many, many years ago, I was laying in bed in the dark, because sometimes I used to get these horrible headaches where I couldn't move. I couldn't see. The tiniest light would bother my headache and make me be in even more pain. It was very, very terrible, these migraines I used to have. And I just heard God's voice very softly, and he said, why don't you just ask me to take it away? And I said, with the energy I could muster, I said, Daddy, can you take it away, please? And right then and there, I felt the pain in my head dissipating like a balloon that had a small hole in it, and it just started to go away. And I said, man, how many times have I had these headaches and I never just asked God to take it away? There's been many times ever since that time of having a headache where I would feel God's nudge and he would say, just ask me. There's been times where I needed a specific amount of money, and I would ask, and God would give me a gig right then and there that would cover what I needed. I learned to ask. I learned not to suffer in silence. I learned not to think of harmful ways, stealing, manipulation to get out of things or to get things that I needed. When I have the Father asking me to ask him, there's times where God would tell me something that he's going to do for me, and yet he still asks me to ask him for what he said he's going to give me. I don't completely understand why he does that, but I think it has something to do with the dominion he has given us in the earth. I feel like he won't intervene in certain things if we don't ask him to participate. I'm guessing that's why he tells me to ask him. And so I do. I ask him for every single thing I am in need of. One time I went to the store and I wanted to purchase a dress. And I asked God, should I buy it? And the Lord said no. So I put the dress away and I went home. Then the next day, the Lord told me, go ahead and buy the dress. And I was like, but you told me not to buy it. He said, go ahead and go buy it. So I went to the store and got the dress. That dress was reduced in price so much. I can't remember how much it was, but I ended up only paying $7 for it the next day. All because I asked and all because I obeyed. The key thing is always obeying, of course. And you get to experience the favor of God in your life. So I make this a practice of mine to ask the Lord as much as I can, every time I can, for everything. I've had friends tell me that God doesn't care about those things. I had a prophet tell me that. He's a friend of mine. But I didn't listen to him because I've already had experience with the Lord in that way, thank goodness, because I know that God cared about the little things. He has an opinion and a suggestion and a wisdom about everything. I encourage you to commune with God and ask him about little things, about big things. Just ask him because he wants to talk to you. He wants to participate. Just ask. Until next time, God bless you.